got a dump run coming up. With all the rain we've been getting lately, I moved the trailer into the garage. Well, you saw it in the garage in the last video. But that saves it from sitting outside and getting rained on. Here's some stucco mold. Got the siding stripped off the house, and this is what we're left with. If you remember, there's that plastic siding on the house before. This is why I never trust houses with vinyl siding on there. Because I tell people when they look at a house or they buy a house with vinyl siding on it, I tell them, I'm like, you know what? I said, people don't put vinyl siding on a house that's in good shape. You know, this is very, very common that this is what you're going to find underneath. So any moisture that may get back behind the plastic vinyl siding, it's going to go directly into your wood. Or stucco. Because yeah, why would you scrape this tight, paint it, you know, prime it and paint it, and then cover it in vinyl siding? People will just put styrofoam and then vinyl siding, and anyhow. Let's go take a look and see where we're at. This is the December 1st update. I haven't done anything in the bathroom yet because December 1st, we don't have a plumber. So I'm not worried about this. I need to demo this and somehow fit all this into that. I think it'll work. That trailer can haul quite a bit. So yeah, I'm not even worried about this. And that's why I haven't done any sheetrock in here yet, because the plumber needs to come in and duct a heater. He needs to run a heater through here, and then I'm going to build a soffit, and we're going to put a heat register here for the little bathroom. He's going to do an 8-inch duct that's going to come through here. He's got to notch this header, and then that'll supply heat into the master bedroom. Here's how this looks. If you remember the last video, everything was open. I got all the sheetrock done. I got all the trim work done. I got one coat of mud on everything. I've got my little redneck heaters going. I've done videos of these in the past. These are, this one's out of a New Tone bathroom vent fan. You gotta watch where you grab these things because they are definitely not OSHA approved. When you get those overhead ceiling fans, you know, I've done videos of me salvaging squirrel cage fans out of vents, bathroom vents or kitchen vents. These are in those combination units that you get in a bathroom fan where you've got a heater with one switch and the other switch turns a light on. And I salvaged a couple of these. Oh, this one's a New Tone as well. And they're just little bitty squirrel cage fans that run over a heater element. And I'm not looking to heat this place, but you can see there's a lot of moisture. That's on the inside of the window. That's all the moisture that's wicking out of this new mud. Yeah, I did a horrible job leveling that sill. That's the moisture coming out of the walls. So my plan for today, I've got an inspection in another building I'm doing some work in, but my plan for today, I've got a couple hours to get everything second coated in mud, and then tomorrow's Friday, do a sand, put baseboards, and then the painter's coming in here this Friday, and then this wing of the house will be done. I'll get the floor out of here, I'll get all my tools out of here, I'll demo that bathroom, do a dump run to get the trailer out of there, and then all my tools can go into the garage. And then we can unseal this door, seal this door, and then I can work from the bathroom out. And then he can start cleaning up in here and getting things ready for the carpet guy to come in. I'm really happy with how all this came out. The closet is getting cedar lined, so I only did fire tape. I just did a quick blast of mud on there, and just to keep the place tight. And then I'm going to do cedar planks throughout. All the trim is done. I'm really, really happy with how the trim came out. This is the old trim from the doors that I removed. It's called deconstruction. It's not called demolition. I pulled all the door casing because this is the same stuff that's throughout the entire house, and he wanted it all to match. So instead of buying all new stuff, I just salvaged the old stuff, and it looks just fine. I use pre-primed interior trim wood here for these. I don't use sheetrock for any of this because this way you can get a good attachment point if you're doing mini blinds or shades or something, an inside mount. This is a solid maple stool. However, it's not a stool. This is actually a piece of filler from the kitchen. It's maple. And I don't like using MDF or any engineered wood here because you tend to get moisture. If you forget your window open or somebody puts a plant here or something, MDF or any engineered wood will swell and pop and look like garbage. But this is actually left over from the kitchen. This is a filler piece that I didn't end up using. This remaining part of it's in there. Oh, it's right there. We had 2 pieces of that filler left over. And I was looking at it, it's like, well, that'd make a nice little windowsill. So that's where that ended up. And then I trimmed this one out to match this window, the existing window. See if I can, it's a lot pretty dusty. All the way, dimensionally, the way this all worked out, I wanted that one to be exactly the same just because they're in the same room. And then what I did here, I don't know that I showed the interior framing in detail in here, but what I did here is I wanted to make sure the headers lined up between the two, because I had to build the header for that, because that was a 48-inch window and now it's a 60-inch opening. But I wanted the headers to be on the same plane because it's on the same wall and you're looking at it. This one obviously is higher. I'm not sure why they made the header for that so much higher, but that didn't concern me that those are not at the same level. This was the concerning part, to get this. So windows and doors are trimmed out. Oh, I got crown molding installed. Just looking at that. I did that yesterday. You can see there's a couple of whoop-de-doops in the ceiling there. Nothing a little bit of caulking won't cure. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how square this building is. I'm pretty content with how everything came out. So it's the next morning from when I second coated it. Apparently I didn't clear off the videos off this camera and I ran out of memory, so I couldn't give you an update yesterday till I got home and was able to pull some video off this card and clean it up. But I don't run these little heaters overnight or unattended. So I just got in here about 20 minutes ago. It's bright and early. It's like 7:15. It is, oh, 7:12. I was pretty close. Stucco guy's coming today. He's going to start working on the drive-it part of the house. You can see the dark here is where this is not ready to sand. I can't sand that. There's still some dark spots up there. I was hoping I'd be able to jump in here. I let it run for about an hour and a half before I left yesterday with these heaters, but it wasn't enough, and it's been so cold and damp with the rain. Yeah, it's just not ready to sand. So I'm going to strip the baseboards. I leaned into this yesterday. I don't know if that's showing up well. So I just slapped some crap on there. I'll sand it out today. But I think we're close. I think with the sanding, we'll be ready for the painter to get in here. I don't know if it'll be ready for tomorrow because I just don't think, you see all the dark in the center of this beam, vertical beam, and then kind of in the corners where it's a little bit thicker. It's not ready to sand. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the rest of this pergo out. I'm going to get the rest of the baseboards pulled. I'm going to install a new baseboard today. And that'll be a couple hours probably. Get some tools out of here, or at least centralize everything. And it'll give a chance for these little heaters maybe to pull some more moisture out of the air. That's still really cold. These walls are really cold. That's the thing, when no one's living in here, the heater's not running. So you can see on these patches here, this one came out 14 inches to the seam, so I went about 18 inches. I went about at least 4 inches past the seam, and then I just floated it all the way to the crown molding. That way that seam will be invisible. This was 11 inches out from the beam that I cut back, and I just floated it out. It's probably 16 inches as well. And that's just the way to do it, you know. It's kind of like body work. You get one tiny little imperfection, but then you end up with this skinned out patch that's 10 times the size of the actual ding, so you can feather things out. Corners like this, where we had a corner guard here and then we had a seam here, I just floated the whole thing out several inches. I think it was about here was where the old sheetrock ended. You go several inches past, and I can come in with a block, a flat block, and you'll never know. That big old hole where that receptacle was. These corners, the same thing. You bring it back 9-10 inches or so. Yeah. Okay, I hear the stucco guy poking around outside, so I'm gonna go outside and see what he's doing. Got my sanding shirt on, long sleeve cotton shirt. I wear cotton gloves and a respirator whenever I sand drywall dust. Drywall dust is extremely fine particulations. It's an extremely potent respiratory irritant, and the lime and everything else that's in the dust is pretty caustic to the skin, so definitely have to protect yourself when you're sanding. So I'm gonna set you down, I'm gonna get some work done. Actually, I'm gonna go talk to stucco guy, and I'm gonna set you down, get some work done, and we'll see where we are here in a couple hours. Just blew out my respirator and my gloves. Blew them off. I just ate lunch. Yes, I actually eat lunch. I try to keep that door closed to control the dust. Ready for dust? Let me shut this door. Keep the heat in. We are about 95% sanded. There are a couple areas. All these inside corners, you see all the dark lines? Just because that's a little bit thicker, I can't get in here and sand these. That won't sand, that's really wet. Everything else came out really nice, really dusty. Very, very happy with how this is laid out. I think I mentioned it before, the TV is going here, mounting. There's going to be a TV on a pivot, a swivel pivot thing. Here's the RG9 cable that I ran, and then the electricians ran a dedicated circuit to the TV. But our transitions are all really nice. The sun is out. Still a cold day. I think it's 48 or 49 degrees outside, but the sun's out. You see the stucco guys just went and grabbed a bite to eat, but he's here starting to work on the exterior. And that's how it all came out. This header beam isn't horrible. I think the crown molding kind of diminishes the hang down. But as I mentioned, the city they approved 2x8, a couple of 2x8s up there, but I went with 2x12s just because either way there would have been a hang down, right? And honestly, if I went with a 2x8 or so, it would be just shy of where that crown molding sits. So I think it would have looked silly, in my humble opinion. So it's like, if you're going to make it, you own it, right? There's going to be a beam there, and then this beam would always stick out the same. So my intention was to have the stick out here be the same as up there. It's a little bit shorter between the crown molding and that edge piece, but it's very close to that. So in my opinion, and I could be wrong, that just frames it in nicely. I'm waiting for this to cure. I've got the lights on here. See, this spot here was the one that I ran into yesterday, and I put a thick patch on there, and it was really soft this morning. I think I can get that sanded smooth before the day is over. And the ceiling came out lovely. The ceiling is lovely. You can't even, well, it's hard to tell because it's a white ceiling to begin with. The painter's going to come in here this weekend. I'm going to do the baseboards right now as soon as I set the camera down. Actually, I'm going to sweep, put my respirator back on and sweep up much of this. Oh, and I got the floor pulled out of here. I'm trying to remember what I've done since just a couple hours ago. There's the floor there. That floor is really, really heavy. I don't want to throw it in the trailer because the trailer's pretty heavy and pretty full. So I'm just going to chuck that in the back of the Dodge truck, the Cummins pickup. That, and then when I demo the bathroom, I'm going to throw all that in the back of the pickup so I don't totally overload that already overloaded trailer. And we'll do a dump run next week because today is Friday and I'm working elsewhere tomorrow. Oh yeah, buddy, that's awesome. Well, as the shadows grow long on another productive day of another productive week, we're going to call this one good. Oh yeah. This one is getting to the point where I can see the light at the end of the tunnel.